Yeah, there's some, I wish you got, well, I don't, it won't matter. I could hold my arm up. I don't know if you guys can see all my hair standing up on end. So for those of you that are maybe working on your own psychicness or your shamanic journeying, that kind of thing, it's true, one of my ex-husbands, that's it, I'm Cleopatra. That's how I'm going to start introducing myself as Cleopatra. That's me. From now, I only have two. So, listen, I'm not Zsa Zsa Gabor. Well, you guys are too young to remember Zsa Zsa Gabor, but I'm not Liza Minnelli. Do you remember Liza Minnelli? She's still alive. Oh, good morning, CB from Iowa. Oh, that's a song from Music Man. Oh, there's nothing halfway about the Iowa way to treat you when they treat you, which they may not do at all. Yep, that's it. Anyway, back to the hair standing up on my arms. When right, your hair standing up on your head. Oh, you know Liza. When I do these readings, what I do is I go into theta state, which I'm able to do with like half of my mind, but still keep my attention on. Good morning, Jenny Gonzalez on Facebook. Wow, there is some kind of lag time. I'm looking at two me's, which is kooky. But wow, there's a serious lag time when it comes to Facebook. Wows. Anyway, what I do is I step into the big mix that is the energy ball that you all create when you come together. And there's a lot of electricity going on this morning, no joke. Even though we're having fun this morning, there's still a lot of electricity going on, and I feel like everybody that's on now is in this like this space where they really need to make, like, you're down to the wire. You've got to really make some decisions, and there's just no more time for you to ponder on it, sit on it, think. Oh, snap. There's no time for you to ponder on it, think on it. And this is for the collective right now. I'm going to start off with that first this morning. Again, you guys, please, a big round of applause for the amazing moderators. In no particular order, Teapot and Maureen. They do a really great job of helping me boot out the scammers. Oh, which, just let me say, y'all, nobody ever from my team ever is going to ping you and say, I'm drawn to you, Facebook me for a reading. We're not going to do that. We are not cheesy like that. Hey, Amy. Good morning. There's Amy. Goodness knows, without Amy, whatever you see behind you would just be in, I don't even know. It would be in crumbles, something. It would just all fall down around my ears. So I said, oh snap, with a bag of chips. I don't know why I'm pulling out the old school stuff this morning. Maybe because I said disco ball, and I'm like, it's like Pavlov's dog. Ding, 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 there's a disco ball. Let's go back to the 80s. Okay, so this is for the collective, right? And then I'm going to start the individual readings. Hey, Christine. Good morning. So I don't know who. Well, some of you I know were here. They really have been scamming tarot readers lately. There's like a team of them in Nigeria that just sit there and they put random the Bee Gees. Hey from Loby, good afternoon. They just put random pictures up. They create these fake profiles. It's just, and I'm not banging on Nigeria. Please understand, I'm not doing that. Not understand, but please get that I'm not doing that. It's just that's where a lot of those scams come from, and you can't keep up with them. They create new profiles faster than you can whatever. I know, right? Dragon yesterday, was that some crazy stuff? Good morning, Christina. Good morning, Safe. I love calling you Safe Foods en route LLC. CB. Hey, Asish. Good morning. Hey, everybody. Asish is joining us this morning. He is our and it's Dr. Asish to you, everyone, just so you know. He and I had the pleasure of having dinner yesterday together to celebrate his PhD-ness, and I'm just so very proud of him. And hey, Mary, good morning. So, all right, let me go back to the collective and let's get going on this reading thing this morning. So, when I step into your energy, hey, good morning, Chris Mochin. Oh, that's very sweet. Thank you. Thank you. I just feel like as a collective, listen, if you put one person in a room or anywhere, that person's got decisions they have to make in their life. You put two people together, yes, they have decisions to make in their life. But just like from the live last weekend, I was like, why do I keep seeing Sagittarius everywhere? And then like The chat feed filled up with, I'm a Sagittarius rising. I just got a Chiron tattoo. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, it was just like, wow. I don't know what was up with the Archer energy last week, but this week the energy is all about y'all as a collective. Um, yes, everybody's got to make decisions, but there are decisions that have to be made right now. You don't have any more time to make them. And I understand the kind of pressure that can put on somebody. And here's the thing. Here's the thing you got to know as a collective. Nikki, you drew the Chiron card yesterday. Wow, that's craziness. So, it's not a. Let me make sure I'm getting this message from Spirit correctly. It's not about making the right or wrong decision. It really is like literally, no matter which decision you make, it's the best decision. So you can go into whatever this thing is and I don't feel like your back is up against a wall in a way that you are panicked or you're in fear or anything like that, but I do feel like there's a time limitation on this. And so interestingly, the card that's come up for everybody is the Minotaur. And that's not a bad looking Minotaur if I do say so myself. But here's the thing. So when you take a look at Minotaur, if you take a look at the words on the card, you'll see conflict, puzzle solving, and solar energy. And for those of you that might be into mythology, or even if you're not, I've got to believe at some point that you, great, day late, a prediction short. Lily had to make a decision yesterday about a court thing, and she said it went exactly like, what was described. So here's the thing about a Minotaur. The poor fella had a really unhappy ending, and that's actually not the message. There's no unhappy ending that's going to happen. I feel like everything is going crazy good. Well, no matter what this decision is, it's going to go great. That being said, when you read from any card, well, for people who practice intuitive tarot, or they really are just coming at it from a psychic place, they don't use cards, that kind of thing. It just depends on the symbolism that you get from whatever archetype and that you get in the moment, because symbols can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. And even though there's a foundation, like a traditional foundation, for those of you, and thank you very much for those of you that have been following me for a while, I just appreciate you so much, and I love you guys dearly, and I really do. And thank you for all, and by the way, thank you for all the concern over the weekend. I kind of disappeared for 2 or 3 days off of social media, and people went nuts. And I really appreciate that. Everybody was like, are you okay? Are you okay? I actually was not. I was sick as a dog over the weekend. And it was raining, and I don't know if the rest of you all have a barometric pressure thing, but when we get storms like that in Florida, it feels like there's like a rhino sitting on my head, just kind of bouncing up and down, using me as one of those little baby trampolines. It's craziness. So, hey, Lisa Snyder, how are you, honey? Good morning. So, again, you can go back to the traditional meanings, but over the last few months, Spirit has really, the animal spirit guides have really called on me to stretch their symbolism and their meaning, because they just feel like there's so many new connotations and so many more ways that they can be more helpful. And by being helpful to you, then you all can help them back, and then everybody gets in deeper relationship with their natural self, which is every animal, right? Every person is a dinosaur, and every person is a parrot, and every person is a this, and then you get where I'm going with this. So when I take a look at Minotaur and what that means for the collective, especially as it comes to this question that you all had, and I pulled this card after I delivered the message about the decision that you have to make, but you see that's puzzle solving. Now, in the myth, poor Minotaur was born out of a big drama between the gods and goddesses, and poor fellow was cast away in a big labyrinth, which of course he hated, and he lived a life of misery, and then ultimately, he was killed, and he was tragic. However, That which is dramatic doesn't have to be traumatic. And this time I don't get any of that energy at all. What I get is who who is this? One of y'all or a couple of y'all out there, you have a decision to make, but you're playing a cat and mouse game with someone. And what that means is this: there's somebody out to get you or trying to beat you or win over you, and you're just sitting back watching them like this, like a cat would watch a mouse skitter back and forth, and you're just deciding when you're going to go whap and whap that poor little mouse, right back into his hidey hole. And there's something really hilarious about this, because you're getting a big kick out of solving this puzzle. You're getting a big kick out of going here and going, nope, I need to go this way. Nope, I need to go that way. And I just want to sit here and laugh. I know, Jason Momoa, right? Sorry, fellas out there. Or maybe I'm not sorry for you fellas out there. You may be getting as big of... Let me just show you the card again, ladies. See, how about I just stay silent for the rest of the live, and I just hold Jason Momoa, the Minotaur. Jason Momoa is the Minotaur, right? Or The Rock. Oh my God, Dwayne Johnson. Don't get me started. Who's a heck of a nice guy too, by the way. That's not an act. He really is a nice fella, and so is Jason. So, in any event, there's a puzzle you have to solve, and there is... You're just getting a kick out of it. I get that. But have mercy on the mouse. Have mercy on the mouse is what you're being told. So that's it. Nobody's paying attention to the reading. You guys are all talking about Hollywood guys. Okay. I see how it is this morning. Okay. I'll be back in like 3 minutes. I'm going to go mix a blender of morning margaritas, and then we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. Oh my gosh, you guys are hilarious. Okay. So Minotaur, that's it. Puzzle solving. Solving the puzzle really of your own life. And I know this is not psychic. I just happen to know a couple of you, and I know that you are really, Nikki, but I want to pounce. And you can, just don't hurt the mouse. I happen to personally know there's a few of you out there that have not a lot, but you've got some big life-changing decisions to make. Like, where do you go? Do you go left? Do you go right? Do you zig? Do you zag? And I just want to giggle every time I step into that energy, because it is, Panagiata, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Panagiata. I feel like if you'll see the whole situation with humor, that again, no matter what decision you make, it's going to be the right decision. I just feel like if you'll find your laughter with it, it will go even better than you might imagine. And it's already going well. Okay, let me also see now who I'm drawn to. Is there somebody that has a bowl of cherries or other kind of fruit sitting in front of them? Or there's a picture of cherries, or you're wearing a shirt or jammies or something with cherries, or some kind of little fruit or something that would look like a cherry? I keep seeing, hey LP, hello. I keep seeing cherries everywhere. Or is there okay, I have to stay on this, you guys. This might be some mediumship coming through, which is I've got to deliver this message, but I've got to... Okay, Itzia, when you say me, what does that mean? Do you mean you can identify with the cherries thing? Type it in there real fast. No cherries here. Or it could be something that looks like cherries, but I just keep seeing Minnie Mouse PJ with cherries. Okay, that's why they call it being psychic. Okay, so Itzia, this message is particularly for you. And so that it can easily be for other people. So let me quantify this. So I asked for somebody that's got cherries all around them. Maybe grapes. That could be it. If you have grapes, because like I said, they're either cherries or they look like cherries. And so Itzia is wearing Minnie Mouse PJs with cherries. That's so adorable. So if I also feel like this is very directly connected to someone who's crossed over. So maybe if the person who crossed over like lived for cherries or had cherries in their kitchen, like a cherry motif or something like that, it could also, hey, little C, big C. Looks like cherries, but it's seeds. Nope. It's, no, I'm going to go, wow, those are some big seeds if they look like your dad. Okay, so Itzia, this is for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. Oh gosh, cotton candy grapes. Great googly moogly. Okay, so Itzia, so interestingly, the moon came out for you, and anybody else that can identify with this cherries thing. And Itzia, is there a breathing issue with your dad or you? Is there a breathe? Because the minute I started to step deeper into that mediumship energy, I started having a little bit of a problem taking a deep breath. And so let me just know that. And just so you guys know, I'm an evidential psychic medium. That's how I got my start. And so very specific evidence like this is what we're trained and required to do in the training that I had, where if you can't deliver very specific information that you couldn't possibly know, like how the heck am I going to know about cherries, you know, that kind of thing. Hi Niha Ya or Niha Ja. I love it. So all the way from India, that's cool. She died recently as well. Had breathing problems. Okay. I'm sorry for your loss, but anyway, that's how I deliver messages. I don't just read straight from the cards. This is a whole psychic thing. And I'm very deeply connected, as you all know, to the animal allies. And so at this point, when I say I'm connecting with the universe, basically I'm talking to all the critters that are hanging out. So Itzia and anybody else that can identify with the cherries thing, it can be grapes, it can be anything like that. And especially if you have a person that crossed over that loved cherries or had cherry decor or, cherries. And it can be grapes, easily can be grapes, especially the red kind. So when the moon comes inverted and the owl card comes inverted, I always think of people who are maybe afraid to face the darkness, but not darkness in a negative way. So like not a shadow self or shadow sides or shadow anything. It's really more about, let me just come out and say it. Itza, tell me, or Itzia, tell me that you are studying psychic work, or that you are already a psychic practitioner, or you are thinking about doing that or shamanic journeying, that kind of thing. Because really at the end of the day, what this message is all about, for anyone that can identify with the cherries, the grapes, that kind of thing, this is about you cultivating your psychic abilities and using, not using them in like, but working with that energy to do good for the world, really. And it's right. So right. But Itzia, are you developing those psychic skills? Right. Everyone is psychic. Every living thing is psychic. It's just a question of what are you going to do about that? You don't have to do anything, but in this moment, this reading, it is about developing your psychic self, and it is about maybe moving more forward in the world to use that to help other people. So there you go. It's a short message. It's a simple message, but it isn't so simple because it is kind of a big calling. And again, when you see owl inverted, especially the moon inverted, I just keep seeing like patches over your eyes. So I don't know. Oh, good, Lily. That's awesome. Excellent. Excellent. Good, Nikki. So, Itzy, I keep seeing patches over your eyes, and I'm unsure if that's literal. Like, are you having any eye problems, eye surgery? Are you about to have? Have you had? Or is this more metaphorical where you just have got, you're just like, I can't face it. I don't want to face it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to face it. You've put blinders on to something major in your life, and that's got to stop. You can't keep doing that anymore, because it's like, it's like when you run from the bill collector, they don't ever stop coming. They're never going to stop coming. That bill is never going to stop being owed. You just got to turn around and you got to face it. Okay. Oh, Mary. Hey, Mary. Good morning. Veil your eyes and open your heart. Okay. And you know what? That is Lisa, you are hilarious. So Lisa Snyder, y'all. After this Kickstarter craziness is over, I'm gonna do a special event with Lisa. She does this never before seen. I've never seen it before. It literally like how the system came to me from the spirit animals, a new completely different way of working with their medicine and energy that no one's ever done before. That's what came to her in terms of sound healing, and she does this amazing. For any of you guys that might have seen anybody credible, channel galactic light language or star language, that kind of thing. She does it with ancient and indigenous uh, peoples, and I have never witnessed anything like it ever. And I did tell her a few years ago she was going to be a professional psychic, and she was like, "Yeah, of course I am." And what is she doing today? She's a professional psychic who channels languages from the ancients and from indigenous people. And let me tell you something. Oh, wow. Holy cow. Lisa, listen to this. So I'm talking about you, and I'm shuffling the cards, and guess what pops out? Alpaca. Lisa, are you going to Peru? Who here is not has been to Peru, but who is going to Peru? What's the light cards, Nikki. Nikki, please tell me you're a professional practitioner. So, Lisa, are you going to Peru or even into like Mongolia or Tibet? Okay, you see the look on my face? I'm like, oh my God, Mary, she's wearing alpaca socks right now. That's funny. Okay. Oh my God. Hey, Triple Moon Goddess, 1111. I see your comment, and what I was just told, like immediately to tell you, is you are a sound healing instrument. I don't know if you're a singer. I don't know if you play music. I don't know. Okay, good. I don't know what that is, but I was told instead of I should have invested in sound healing instruments, you are a sound healing instrument. But here's the thing. Okay, Lisa, you told me not that I know of when I told you 3 years ago you weren't going to be a psychic. I was saying, are you going to? All right. Tuning forks and sing. Very cool. Oh, we need video. So, this might be for you. The alpaca socks. Wearing the alpaca socks this morning. Was it? Good morning, Melinda. Lordy, it's all goodness. Jody P, Bernadette, how do we know if we blocked our psychic abilities for this lifetime? You can't. That is a great question. I'm going to break just for a second from the readings. I've got to answer this question. It is so important for everybody. You cannot block your psychic abilities. That is such a fallacy and such a wad of horse apples. You can't, or you would be dead. And even then, you'd be even more psychic than you are now. Here's why. So, can I prove this to you? No. Is it what I believe based on the credible science? Good morning, Michelle. Michelle Miller on Facebook. Based on what I've read of science by very credible scientists, and I would really highly recommend all of you all to read Dr. Dean Radin's book, Entangled Minds. It will blow your mind about why everything is psychic and how it all works, and it makes perfect sense. Our amygdala is constantly on scan 24/7 for danger. And that's a lot of where we get our psychic pings. And in our gut, there's like 80 bajillion D neurons that it's considered your second brain. It's never off and it never stops working. That's why people can come right up out of a dead sleep and be like, somebody's in my house, or come up out of a dead sleep and go, something's wrong with, ring, and the phone rings, and it's the person that something's wrong with. Because we have an early warning system built into our bodies. So you can't possibly have turned your psychic senses off for this lifetime or any other lifetime. The other thing that I encourage people to not do is refer to their psychic abilities as gifts. Now, if you see it as a gift from the universe or, wherever, that's okay, that's cool. But it's not like some great supreme being bumped you on the head and said, you are special, I've given you the gift of psychicness. The universe is you, you are the universe, and we all gave ourselves the gift of psychicness when we incarnated. We just kept it from where we were on the other side, and we kept it when we came to this body, right? This meat suit. So, also, when you refer to it as gifts, y'all have taught thousands and thousands of people psychic classes and psychic development and mediumship development over the years. And the minute that you don't think of your psychic abilities as gifts, you immediately take away the subconscious fear that your gift could go away, or you're not as gifted as other people, or there's so many fears that go around that. And I watch people's accuracy just go right through the roof when they immediately get rid of the word gifts and their psychological connotation of that, so there you go. So okay, so back to the alpaca. Lordy, pardon me, I think it was Mary that had the alpaca socks on, or anybody that can awareness is magic. There is something, Lisa, I'm telling you, this is about you too. I'm telling you now. There's something about a trip to Peru, Mongolia, Tibet, something like that. Even if you don't physically go to that place, you're going to end up working with people directly from that place. I don't know if it's monks. I don't know how that's going to manifest, but that's the story. So I am going to move on, and I'm going to move on, man. Okay. Hey, I got a question for you guys. Would you prefer these lives at night? It makes sense that a lot more people would be on at night, but would you guys prefer these lives to be at night? Just type a yes or no, and I'll know if you're answering that question or not. Okay, who am I drawn to now? Let me see what's going on out there. So this might seem, you like both. No. Love mornings. No. Okay. Okay. How about, would you like it if I did more live readings? Okay, thanks you guys. Thanks for letting me know. So this might seem really general, but it's really not. There's somebody that's got a cup of hot cocoa or hot chocolate sitting in front of you right now. It's not tea, it's not coffee, it is hot chocolate or hot cocoa. Anne, hey, good morning, Anne Swinyon. Elizabeth Peru. She's from Australia. Elizabeth Peru? Who's Elizabeth Peru? Am I missing something? Okay. Okay, this is for somebody who's got a cup of hot chocolate, hot cocoa sitting in front of them right now. Whoa. Hell yeah, for more lives. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like super compelled all of a sudden to do just a whole bunch of lives. I don't know why. But this is for whoever's got the hot chocolate in front of them, or some, I'm really convinced it's hot chocolate. Or maybe you're going to do a cacao ceremony, or you just did one, I've done one at one time, but either just very recently or just super soon or about to do that. Yeah, I know, Nikki, I thought about that. Okay, let's talk about this. I think this much, okay, I'm speechless because I'm speechless. I'm like, what? Okay. This card almost never comes out in people's readings. Almost never. I think that's because I am so deeply connected to this card, to the bear. And Queen of Pentacles is definitely the archetype that I work with most in the tarot. And yeah, I'm really convinced about you've got something sitting in front of you. It's like hot cocoa, hot chocolate. It could be something else, but what I'm being told is it is definitely not coffee and it is definitely not tea. Or even if you don't have it sitting in front of you right now, it's like your thing. Like you're a hot chocolate person. Like you will drink hot chocolate. You search for gourmet hot chocolate, that kind of thing. There's something, I don't even know. But here's the thing about Bear and the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. Take a look at her again. Does she look sad? Take a look at her again. Take a look deep in those eyes, and then take a look at the corner, the turn-up of her mouth. She's watching. She's not sad. Believe me, no sad bear would ever want to be in the ark. But take a deep, 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 deep look into her eyes and tell me what you see. For me, the eyes shift. Like she's going to crack a joke, but then she's like, what are you up to? That's my sassy fat calico cat, y'all, that just went by. But here's the thing. Let me just get to this for the chocolate people. Yeah, it could be Nesquik. It totally could be Nesquik. Absolutely, it could be. Yeah. So, wow, this is so powerful. I really want, I want for you all, for this to be for the collective. So here's what I'm going to tell you. If you want this message, take this message. Although again, I'm going to go back to, it is very specifically for the hot chocolate. It could be Nesquik. It could be anything like that. It is not tea. It is not coffee. It's some, I think I've said it enough. Okay. When there is an innocence about all animals, and when they want something, they're like 3 and 4 year olds. They just want it. They don't know whether going to get it is good or bad for them. They just want it. And that can be such a good thing. It doesn't have to be a negative thing. And what that means is, whatever you're wanting, it's really as simple as going to get it. You know, a bear will walk up to a trash can and maul that thing and get it open and get whatever they want. They will go to a campsite and all they know is they smell peanut butter or cinnamon rolls that some idiot camper has left out in their reach, and they get it. They don't, that's it. Now, to the camper, they're like, the bears. But to the rest of the world, we're all like, ooh, you dumb camper. Because, hello. But, man, this is such a powerful message. But the point is that bears don't go through the what ifs. The animals don't go through the what ifs. Now, they'll stand cautiously and they'll look around, maybe, or maybe not, because they know that's it. Thank you. Okay, thank you, animal allies. They intuitively know, they naturally get it, that this world, they fit in it. Whatever they want should be theirs, and there's no limit to that. They don't sit around worrying about limitations. They don't sit around worrying about, but what if this, but what if that, but what if this, but what if that. They just don't. Now, I'm not saying they're not cautious, and I'm not saying they're not smart. What I am saying is that, oh, Kelly B, you live near the Smokies? Can I come live in your garage so I can see all the bears? Ooh, you get a quaw. That's cool, Nikki. But exactly. They aren't ashamed to be who they are or what they want, Lou. That's exactly the way to say it. And so they go out and they get what they want. And that's just that. Now, here's the thing. I have to be very careful about this message that I'm going to deliver about Pentacles, because between the Kickstarter and a couple of other business things that are going on, Pentacles is very much on my mind. And I want to be sure that I'm a pure channel for you guys. And so here's what I want to say about what's coming to me about the Pentacles. This is going to harken back to the dragon reading, which is, are you protecting your power? And what that means for this is, are you protecting your own natural ability to be the queen of your own kingdom, to call the shots, to do what you want to do? And are you giving yourself, oh my gosh, that's it. Are you giving your power? There's another one of my cats. Yes, crazy cat lady. Are you giving your power away? Meaning, are you giving it away from yourself, or are you stealing it from yourself? Meaning, a really good leader knows how to keep their kingdom abundant and prosperous, and in turn themselves. And they know how to protect things. I'm not saying that they don't make mistakes, and I'm not saying that, but a good leader always has to have their eye on the bottom line, the dollar bottom line. But are you giving yourself enough credit to know that, wow, it's blowing my mind, y'all. This is even bringing in, when I see, it's kind of funny, but when I see a cat or a bear do this, where they're like, cleaning themselves, or they're scratching behind their ears or whatever, that's always my signal for past lives. Crazy, I know, but this is how I communicate with spirit. What can I tell you? So I keep seeing this, and I feel like through many, many lives, you've been a leader, and you've been responsible or committed to groups of people, and you in some way have been taken on the job of helping that community get to a place of prosperity. And it's really incumbent upon you to remember those lives. And how I know that is when I saw this. So I see past lives, and I'm like, okay, show me specifically what we're talking about. What I'm shown is, when bears go into hibernation, they go into the dreams time. And that is an enormous, especially shamanic symbol for astral travel, for shamanic journeying into past lives, catching up with yourself in past lives, that kind of thing. And it's where you can bring forth all this really amazing knowledge that you didn't know you have. Oh, for those of you that know me, I'm a storyteller, right? And I'm going to give you a prime example of this. So many years ago, my sister, who worked in the elementary education system here in Gainesville, along with being an immunology researcher and all of that, she wanted the kids in her elementary school to, and they did a big end of the year program every year. And so this time she wanted to do Broadway with elementary school children. But oh no, it couldn't just be that. We're going to have dinner and a show. Oh yeah, right? Like it's the Roaring 40s and we're in Miami at the Copacabana or something. So now we're going to have a spaghetti and lasagna dinner. Okay. So the person that was supposed to man the kitchen for her, like put the lasagna in, take it out, know when this is going to happen, totally bailed on her literally an hour before the show. Just bailed. All of a sudden there wasn't a cook. So I'd come to see it, because she's my sister and everything. The next thing I know, I went from being comfortable in a chair waiting to see, who maybe the next kid star was going to be, or just, have a good old time. And I about fell over backwards in my chair because she snatched me by the back of the shirt. She said, "I need your help right now." I'm like, "Doing what?" She said, "Cooking." I said, "I don't even cook for myself. You think I could cook?" I need your help. Y'all, I was just beginning my psychic journey. I didn't realize at the time, until after the fact, like 12 hours later, after we'd cleaned up the kitchen and done this and done that, that I had gone into my psychic self, into theta state, and there was some kind of Italian chef that I was channeling, because both my sister and I, and the couple people who knew me that were part of this whole shenanigans that she had cooked up, were just looking at me like, "I didn't know you'd ever chefed in a kitchen." And I'm like, "I don't chef in my own kitchen. I certainly haven't chefed in a commercial kitchen. Are you joking me?" And was I covered in spaghetti sauce and cheese and every old kind of thing? Yes, I was. But did everything get assembled and get out just at the perfect time, coordinating the garlic bread with this, with that? It was a blur. I was channeling. That's where I'm going with this, is you've got She did. She done snatched me up, Kelly, because that's what we do in this. That's what we do in the South, and that's my sister. She don't play. She's about that tall, y'all, and she really is about that tall. She looks like a hobbit, and just like my grandma, and I look just like my mom, which is really freaky. But so yeah, she was like, "I need you right now," but. We often talk about that day still because I got a burn on my arm from the oven, and so I remind her of that all the time. But because she still owes me for that. But it, it it was one of my most powerful moments of realizing we can truly be whoever we want to be because we've just got to reach back into past lives and we can heal whatever we want to heal. We can be whatever we want to be in this lifetime because chances are you've lived a lot of lifetimes. And so this is a message. I mean, it's kind of turned into a little bit of a teachable moment, but I'm just so flabbergasted at this card coming out this morning and what the visions are that are coming to me, which is it's just really embrace and integrate your leadership. Doesn't even get to cut your sovereignty. That's it. The word, your sovereignty, and know that you've got all kinds of wisdom to draw on to accomplish this thing. And I have to say, it's not about money exactly. It's about the ability to create abundance and prosperity in whatever, that's it, in whatever lane you want to create it. Like that night, I'm slinging stuff everywhere. And, you know, what are the other options other than how the heck did she do it? Never having done it before. Listen, y'all, I'm the person that walked out of my shift at Red Lobster when I was a kid and carrying a tray. I came around in the kitchen to, I'll spare you the horrible details, but I didn't know up till then how lobsters were cooked. And I certainly didn't know how they were done at Red Lobster. And I had a huge tray of seafood and a carafe of wine and everything. And I took a look at that and I passed right out. I mean, literally, my tray went everywhere. I hit my head on one of the ovens. They tried to call the paramedics. I'm like, that's it. I'm leaving. This is the most horrible place. I walked right out of my shift and didn't care a fig because I didn't care a fig. So here's the bottom line. That's about the most I've ever done in a professional kitchen was pass out and then promptly leave my shift, never to be seen again in parts like that ever. So the only explanation for that could be was that I was channeling. Now, what chef? I don't know. From what kitchen? I don't know. And I don't recommend that. I don't recommend that you just open the world and say, hey, everybody, come on in, because it's not a hoedown. Okay, it's not a hoedown. It's not. You cannot just be saying, hey, y'all. You've got to be specific. What you will allow, what you won't allow, who you will talk to, who you will not. This is your vessel, right? This is your what? It's priceless, and you got to have people treat it like that. I know, right, Teapot? But hey, Omar, never seen you before. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, no joke, you guys. I really did. I went down for the count and had a big old lump on my head and everything, but that was it. I went home, booed my eyes out. I think I probably drank more tequila that night than ever in my life before. Okay, who am I kidding? Probably not than ever in my life before. Okay, let me see who I'm drawn to now. Does one of you, I know, craving Italian food, right? Who doesn't? I wake up craving spaghetti and lasagna, y'all. My sister makes the best veggie lasagna with a cream sauce. Lord. Okay, I'm being really drawn to somebody who lives pretty near a bridge, or used to live pretty near a bridge, or is about to move pretty near a bridge, or has a picture or pictures of bridges around them, near them, grew up with pictures of bridges. And I'll tell you what this is reminding me of. I'm bringing I have a vision in my head. I gave a reading a number of years ago, and I kept saying to this lady, ma'am, I keep seeing you standing by like a channel, like they have in Austin, where there are really beautiful buildings on the other side of it, but then there's this man-made cement kind of river in front of it, like a channel, but man-made. My ex used to live under one. Well, you know. So I'm not laughing at your ex. I'm not, but dang, that's funny. You live near, okay, CB Muzz, you live near a bridge. You live actually near 3. Okay. Okay, actually, I'll see if I can get her cream lasagna recipe. It's a bechamel sauce that would be like, it'll change your life. Okay, but listen, for real seriousness, y'all, I'm back to the bridge thing. Um, anyway, I was reading for this gal, and I was like, ma'am, I see, did you never do this in any time in your lifetime? She's like, no. She said no about 20 times. And I kept pressing on it because the message that needed to get to her was so serious. And she was like, look, could we move on? I was like, no, we can't. I said, I'll give you extra time for free after your reading, but I'm telling you, you've got, she goes, oh my God. And we were FaceTiming. She turns her phone around, and she was in the kids' nursery, and her husband had painted what these beautiful buildings with a man-made channel in front of it. So indeed, she was standing right there. So this could be artwork. It could be pictures, but it's about the bridges. It's about people with bridges. And, or, I feel like this is a bit of a long shot. I think like this is a bit of a reach, but you could be very, very diligently working on building bridges of some kind, like emotional bridges, mental bridges, some kind of something connection between you and another person, or you and a work related thing, or your kids or whatever. But I really, really. Oh, okay. Little C, Big C. You also live a couple miles from Big Bridge. Okay, this is. I'm. Here we are now with the We're with the bridges. Hold on. Wow, I'm telling you guys, you're gonna flip. Oh, the Rainbow Bridge. That's awesome. I hope nobody's living near the Rainbow Bridge right now. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, I just want you guys to see what I'm seeing. I don't know what this energy is going on this morning, but thank you guys so much. This is cool. So I'm shuffling, 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 and out pops the lion for you bridge people, but also is the jaguar. So I'm just going to go on board with saying there's something very much about big cat energy, but particularly the lion, which is the strength card, which is mind over matter. It's all about the solar energy, but it's also about the big cat energy. Okay. Are you okay? Can y'all just answer? I guess it could be Bernetta, the link to Iris from the reading this morning. Was it this morning? Yeah, I think it was a reading this morning. But I don't think so, because I'm not seeing it like that. I'm seeing it as a literal man-made bridge. That's why I was like, oh, I guess it could be metaphorical, but I don't really think so. Omar Angulo, welcome, welcome to the Wild Pack. If you think it's for you, this message is for you. Is that because you live near a bridge, did live near a bridge, are going to move to a bridge, have pictures of bridges in your houses? It's really more about the man-made bridge. Not, I really feel that. But here's the thing. I don't know if you guys have ever been able to be around big cats. But when we see them in pictures and they just look so regal, just looking around at the rest of, the little people, which is everyone in life except for a lion, they're looking at their throng, at their hordes, and that's how they see everybody. There is such it is a strength. It's a power that you just, I'm sure there are people who feel that way. I know I've felt that way at times. I don't feel that way all the time. But they just live in the seat of their own power. When you take a look at the traditional meaning of the Rider-Waite strength card, and you look, it kind of seems like, the lion's got the tail tucked under the legs, and it kind of looks like the gal that's in the picture is dominating him. But it's really not that way. She has tamed that lion, but through love. And what that means is, wow. Okay, you know what? Bye, Maureen. Oh, I hope everything goes well at the dock. You guys, can you just take 2 seconds and said good vibes to Maureen? She hasn't been feeling so hot lately, and she could really use your good vibes. So, you know what? I think really this is just going to, they're not bothered by anything, Marie. But I really feel like maybe the rest of this time is just supposed to be about readings for the collective and who can take something from that. But I am going to continue to give evidence to give, like, it's for bridges, it's for cherries, it's for this, it's for that. And so I just, when I step into the energy of this card and lion for today, it really is about knowing that you don't have to wrestle the demons. You don't have to wrestle the whatever is blocking you, or feeling like you're diminished in any way or not validated. Like all of those things, you don't have to do that. You just have to bye Marine. You just have to own your strength and your power. So for instance, most of us have a story about our mom or our dad or our grandpa or grandma or aunt, uncle, somebody that all they had to do was give you the look. Now, why do you think that sent us, screaming and shaking and running to do whatever? It's because you just know that, okay, they mean what they say. And yes, in that look, they might have had a particular look on their face, but it was more the energy that came inside or came from inside. But also, if you remember, the times that maybe you learned the most or you grew the most were the times that you were enfolded in love. No matter how much you messed up, no matter how much, maybe a poor decision that you made or whatever, that you were cocooned in love. And why that is love is a natural forgiveness. When somebody loves you and they love you, they don't have to say, I forgive you. Just a hug can say that. Or, if you guys have seen, one of my favorite pictures that goes around is the picture of the older couple where one of them is really super angry with the other, but that person that's super angry with the other is still holding the umbrella over her head or his head or whichever one it is. And that is what this card is calling you for this morning, is to just allow yourself to be your most powerful self, but do it through love, which is leading me to forgiveness. So there's something about this energy for everybody, but it's particularly for the Bridges people, that is, I just don't think I can say it enough. It's about really understand story. Publix, my never-ending love-hate relationship with Publix. Couple years ago, not that matters. Pre-pandemic, it was game day. Good Lord, I don't know why, because I live in Gainesville, Florida, and when it's Gator game day, you cannot move in this town. You cannot move. So I don't know what possessed me. I went to Publix on a Saturday, a few hours before game time. So of course, carts of beer and ribs and chicken and tater chips and cupcakes are flying through the store, 90 to nothing. And people were being their regular selves. Some people were polite, and some people would ram you, just to get in front of you in line when there were already 45 people in line. So I was standing about 3 people back, and boy, this old gal was just giving this cashier the roo-raz. I mean, she was chewing this old gal up one side and down the other. And there stood her husband. So I watched it for a minute or two, and I thought this poor little girl was going to cry. I really did. And I don't know what that means, wise investor. I don't really answer questions like that, especially about gambling. I've never seen a notification like yours before. So thank you very much for the donation. I'll take a look at that. I may return it to you, just because I don't answer questions like that. It doesn't matter how much money you plunk down. It doesn't happen like that here. Sorry. I'm going to go to who I'm drawn to. But let me go back to the story. So I'd had just about enough of those people picking on the cashier. And so all I did was cross my arms in front of me and I focused on the side of this lady's head, and I threw every bit of mama bear power I could throw at her without saying a word. And all of a sudden I could see her on her left side, because her left side was to me. She started to feel a little bit uncomfortable. And the more she blah, blah, blahed, now she started looking around. And so it only took about 15, 20 seconds, but eventually she turned around and I locked eye contact with her and I said, just like that. She stopped what she was doing. She got her stuff. She about pushed her husband over, getting out of the way, because she knew. She knew it was going to be that long before I said something to her. And she was trying to control a situation. I don't know why she was trying to be that way. I don't care. She just was that way, and that just was not going to stand. So that's what I'm talking about, is owning your power through the strength card enough that here's what the, and I'm talking love, 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 and then I'm like, I gave her the look, right? Here's why. Because I love that cashier enough to protect her, and I love that lady enough to know that she's acting counter to what her soul is really like and really what her spirit is like. And so I just felt like it was incumbent upon me to save her from herself. See how you can twist that? But it's true. So I do, y'all. My mom, that raised eyebrow, my mom could put her eyebrow up into her hairline, y'all. It was very freaky, and I got it from her. So in any event, I'm moving on. But bridges, y'all. Y'all with the bridges, this is about lion energy, but it's also about jaguar energy. It's about big cat energy, and how just, even when they're born, in a zoo or a sanctuary or whatever, y'all know how that bothers me. It is, they're still like that. No one's ever going to breed that out of them, because it's who they are. No one is ever going to breed out of you, beat out of you, demean out of you, nothing that isn't truly who you are. And sometimes it can be very difficult for us to remember who we are. And we are all powerful beings. No joke. I mean, no joke. And I will say, for those of you that know me, I used to work in Hollywood for a lot of years. I managed child and young adult actors, and, master level acting coach, yak, yak, yak. I have seen people do some amazing transformations, not only inside of themselves, but watch them transform into people that, to get a role that I know they were channeling. They might not have known they were channeling. Okay. So now I'm going to move on to, oh, funny. Okay. So, has anybody had a clogged toilet lately? Like, lately? Is somebody having is somebody having problems with their plumbing? I'm Can y'all see how red my face is? Okay. Spirit's funny this morning. Spirit has had morning margaritas this morning. Bernadette hasn't. Here's my southern iced tea getting me through the morning. But okay. This is for people who have either had literal plumbing problems, like a backed up toilet, maybe your bathtub backed up, your sink backed up, or other plumbing problems, like in the root chakra area. The root chakra, tiny bowl issues. Yes, I do. It's the tiny bowl man. Those commercials cracked me up when I was a kid. They still crack me up. Most things crack me up. Who am I fooling? So this is about plumbing issues. So for y'all that can identify with the plumbing issues, morning margaritas. Yes, more. Actually, if you watch, Lord, y'all, hold on, I gotta look it up. I cannot believe I can't remember this. Practical Magic with Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman. They were raised by their aunties who are witches, and they come to know that, they're raised as witches also. Swedish show, but the aunties have morning margaritas. It's some of the best stuff in the movie. So, you just had your plumbing checked on Friday. Excellent! Nikki, you're having both problems. Oh my God, girl. You need to Okay, this is for y'all that are having the plumbing problems or had the plumbing problems, or there's a plumbing problem. Let's just put it that way. Okay, I've seen that movie about 4,000 times. Okay, so I'm shuffling off to Buffalo. This is interesting. Okay, this is kind of kooky. So you've got the Hanged Man, which is the bat, and you've got the Hummingbird, which is the Four of Wands. I'm asking Spirit how they correlate. I might need a morning margarita for this. Bathtub problems. Man, this is like the Eatsia show this morning. Hey, good morning, Tracy Liberty. So actually, they don't correlate, but but they're meant to be taken in order. They're almost like not almost like a checklist. They're a checklist, with the Hummingbird being first. There's something about a homecoming, and if you take a look at the words when they, okay, there's something about the Four of Wands, and it's about a homecoming. And the Four of Wands means a lot. You know, when you see the traditional Rider-Waite card, it's the canopy, it's the people that, you know, they're celebrating. Have you all been having out-of-body experiences lately? Like you're actively trying to astral travel, or you just, that's it. I feel like for the collective, hey Stephine, good morning. I feel like there's something going on with the collective, but in particular with you all that are having the plumbing issues. Oh, this stuff stays live on the internet forever. I'm never going to live this down. There's something about you've been really feeling like you're on the outside looking in a lot, meaning you've become quite the observer of the world, of life, of people. And it's time for you to come home inside of yourself. It's time for you to stop the observing, and it's time for you to move ahead. It's time to come home. And what that means is, man, this is all back. Gosh, this is back to the decision thing. This is about, oh, you just watched about OBEs. Okay, yeah. Oh, Jody, let me tell you something, Jody P. If you are waking up exhausted and there's really no other reason for it, I guarantee you're astral traveling and you're exhausted by the time you get back home. But this is about coming back home. Oh. Okay, you heard it here first. I listen, my agreement with Spirit is I say what they tell me to say. I don't censor it, because it's not my job to care. It's not my job to care if I look foolish or kooky or like I'm out of my dang mind or not. It's my job to deliver the messages the way they see fit. I don't second guess them. Maybe you have just really recently realized you may not be from here. You may be a walk-in. You may have come to visit this planet from other worlds. You may be on a mission of some kind from someplace else, from another society, another dimension, another whatever. You're not crazy. I'm being told to tell you, you are not crazy. You're not. But it is time for you to come home. And what I'm seeing that is, coming home means realizing who you really are and what you were meant to do, why you came here. And that can be whether you identify with being off-world, Pleiadian, Atlantean, reptilian, you know, or anywhere, anything, because there are a bajillion D galaxies and a bajillion D places that you could be from, and a bajillion D things you can be. Plus, you could have been through many, many lifetimes, but it's incumbent upon you to get it. Like, Nikki, you mentioned the word grounded, and that really is, oh, Arcturian, that was the other thing I was trying to find, you know, Lyran, Arcturian, you know, all those kinds of things. And it is incumbent upon you to realize who you really are, because whatever it is you do, you can work at Pizza Hut, but whatever it is that you do is really important. Like all of the people that you talk to and all the people that you touch and what you do in this world is important. And if you're not moving towards that, if you don't feel like, well, I'm meant to do this or I'm meant to do that, and you don't step into that, you're not going to be happy. Nothing's going to go bad or wrong. You're just not ever going to be truly, truly happy. And again, I very specifically feel like, gosh, y'all, sorry, I'm channeling, so I don't even remember the exact words that I used before. Oh goodness, 5 air signs and no earth signs. Great googly moogly, Lily. Holy cow! I don't know how do you. I don't know how you stay on this earth and float up like one of those big air balloons. Let me get back to the message, and I'm going to close this out because I want to go on to the Hangman inverted. So it can be daunting to come home to yourself. It can be daunting because that might mean radical changes in your life. That might mean radical changes in your relationships with other people. That might mean radical changes. It just might mean radical changes, and they can be a little bit scary. But when you see the Hanged Man inverted, it's time for you to see things as they really are. Now, when the Hangman is upright, that's time to see things from a different perspective. But when the Hangman is inverted, it is time for you to just face what's in front of you and be like, just face it and do with it what you will. But at the end of the day, please come home to yourself. When you do that, there's a lot of jargon for that in the life coaching world. They call it living on purpose or living with purpose. In the metaphysical world, it's, being in alignment. Your chakras are aligned and this is aligned and your auras are clear, blah, 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 blah. It all means the same thing. And the idea is to, I totally cannot, thank you. Okay, so, Teapot, let's just do a block, please, on that person. Thank you. Just do a block. Just don't even bother deleting it. Just block it. So it is, I'm just going to leave you with that. It's about that. It's about coming home to yourself and then facing things head on. Because once you are living on purpose, once you are in alignment with who you really are, and now I'm being told to go deeper in that. Let's say that you figure out your Pleiadian, or let's say that you figure out your Atlantean. All right. Yeah, sorry you guys, trolls. They're gross. Sorry y'all. I wish I could. At least that was only one. And for some reason, my restream chat is not working this morning, so I can't get into that chat to block them. Sorry. But let me just say that it is. Oh, I can do it here. My bad. Sorry. I can't block them for some reason. Sorry. Okay, so when you figure out who you really are, everything you see, everything you hear, everything you feel, everything that comes into you, everything that comes out of you is now going to be fed through that filter. That's Aphrodite, the kid, my kitten. I say kitten, she's 8 years old, but Aphrodite, you want to come say hi to everyone? Come on. Come on, Aphrodite. Come on. Come on, little one. Come say hi. Hold on. Come here, Aphrodite. The snoring dog was in her way. Come on, Aphrodite. Come on. She'll come in eventually. Okay, so whatever this is that you've discovered or are about to discover, or if you will kindly let yourself discover who you really are and you start to own that. Oh, that is who's on the little bed? That is Hops. That is the snoring Hopsmeister. So yeah, it's just about coming home. There's just no other way to say it. Now, let me just say this. One more thing about this. This could mean a literal home, and I'll tell you why. I've owned several homes, and I've lived all over the country. Been married a couple of times, you know. So I've lived in homes, I've lived in apartments, that kind of thing. But it didn't strike me until I bought this house that I'm in now that I hadn't ever really felt at home since I didn't live at my mom's, however many umpteen years ago. Man, that realization hit me like a ton of bricks. And so this is going to be about who you are, but this also might mean a literal, do you have a place that you live that you consider truly your home, that cocoons you, that's your oasis, that every time you step into it, it is that place for you. And so again, you've got to know who you are, and it will shed a lot of light on why you do the things you do, why you say the things you say. And you know, the real you is always going to be pulling you toward what is meant for you and what will suit you best based on who you are. I like, I don't feel a connection with off-world stuff. I feel a deep connection to the animal kingdom here. And if there were animals other places, I'd feel a deep connection to them also. But I'm not so, if I had to choose, like, well, what's the other place that you feel like you might be from, but aren't really aware of it in this lifetime? Atlantis. Immediately Atlantis. Immediately. It's the only other place that I've ever been truly interested in. All the space stuff and the star stuff and the this stuff. I love me some astrology, that's for sure. I love me some zodiac signs, but see, that's attached to animals, right? Even when you talk about Virgo and you talk about Libra, they're still attached to human animals. So it's all about the animals. It is, hey Tasha, welcome. So, okay, so now I'm going to go on to the next group that I'm being called to. Who is that? Hey Manny, hey Beverly. Okay. Let me tell you what, so when I get quiet like that, what's happening is I'm asking Spirit to start sending me the next group of y'all that the message is for. Here's what was sent to me. I'm seeing a kitchen, and I'm seeing a stainless steel counter, which would speak to me of a commercial kitchen, but maybe not. There are all kinds of people that have stainless steel counters in their kitchens. And I'm watching dough of some kind being rolled out into a strip, not a pie shape or anything like that. It's a rectangular shape. And you're putting stuff in it and you're rolling it up, rolling it up, rolling it up, rolling it up. Now, what I can't see is it sweet or is it savory? But there is a very definite, I keep hearing the word roll-ups. And so there's a very definite connection with you, and either you make these roll-up things, or in your family, these kinds of roll-ups are a big deal. And that can even be like if you're rolling up something to make cinnamon buns, you know, you put all the junk in there, and then you roll it. It could be anything. It could be something savory, like a dinner something. But there's something about the roll-up, and this is really important. Can you all identify this? You're very welcome, Jody. Can you guys identify this roll-up thing? I mean, I guess we could stretch it, and if you're just, you know, if you've got a thing for those fruit roll-ups, okay, but I don't see it like that. It could be, yeah, it could be tamales, although I was really seeing it as more of the dough itself or whatever is rolled out is more rectangular rather than circular. Strawberry fruit roll-ups, right? Okay. Watching how to make vegan chicken roll-ups. I guess it could be a tradition. Oh, a video of fruit roll-ups earlier. Okay, yeah, it could be that. All right, but I'm just going to move on about the roll-ups, the roll-ups, the roll-ups. Okay, Rose. Rose Justin, I'm calling you out because you suck at being a scammer. You suck at it, just so you know. Um, hey, Svetana, how are you? Okay, Rose, as soon as I can figure out how to do it, I am blocking you. Bye-bye. I'm even going to report you, too. Yay! Okay. God, listen, whoever this person is behind this Rose Justin name, can you please just know that if you're going to do anything in life, try to be good at it. You're just terrible at this. You're terrible at being a swindler. Maybe you should try doing something, legitimate for a change. Lord have mercy. God, if you're going to do something, at least be good at it. Okay. I want to go back to the roll-up thing. Now, having said that, let me say this. Hold on. Oh, Lordy. Chris, I may have just... Rut-row. Hold on. Oh, God. Hold on. I think I just blocked one of my good friends. Oh, my gosh. All right. I'll have to fix that later. But here's the thing. It's really important for you guys with the roll-up thing. Sorry, I lost focus for just a second. I think I blocked one of my good friends. Ah! Hey, Catherine Windsor, good morning. Holy cow. Okay, so you with the roll-up thing. You've got the imagination card. Now, let me tell you something. This card is super powerful and super polarizing. You see, it's about creativity, inspiration, the inner child. It is so important for you to really live in your most creative self at the moment. And just super, super, super important. Because something that you are really being called to do. Hey, Kim Danbert, good morning. I just saw your post. Something you're being called to do is really requiring you to trust in your own creativity, to trust in that. And you don't really necessarily think of yourself as a creative person. You get really freaked out if you don't have time to sit and plan and make like an outline of what you're going to do. And always you just don't realize yet that when you're making a plan, you're actually being very creative. In your head, you've got creativity to be about art, like painting or drawing or sculpting, that kind of thing. And yes, that is a kind of art. And then there are performing arts, dancing and singing and theater. But there is an art form to the people that do the analyzing. Now, they might argue with you. They'll say it's all about math. Is it? Is it? Anybody out there doing any kind of investing? It's not only about the math. Sometimes it's about your gut feel. And sometimes it's about taking a look at a number of people's mathematical equations and then making up your own based on that information you get. Because the way somebody gets an answer mathematically can oftentimes be a bit different. It'll all shake out to be one right equation eventually, but the way they get about it to, the way they get to it is creative. Yeah, and Teapot brings a really good point. Structure is very important, for sure. Some people fly by the seat of their pants all day, every day, but not everybody. And they do it okay. But eventually, without a plan, without structure, something's going to trip them up. And hopefully it's not something big that they get tripped up by, but something will trip them up. So it's just really for you all with the roll-up thing. Man, I just keep seeing it. Y'all, is somebody who crossed over their family, they might have owned a bakery, been a professional baker or cook, like professional. Um, Bye, Mary. Have a good day at work, honey. Thank you for stopping by. Stay wild and do good for animals. So, does somebody have somebody who passed that is professional cook, professional baker? Just claim me. Just say it yes if you can. Tasha, honey, who told you that you've had alcoholic failures? Oh, triple moon goddess, that might be it. And grandma has passed? A roll-up dough, grandma. Okay. No, it's got to be somebody passed. Triple moon goddess, has he passed? Let me get back to Tasha. Tasha, let me tell you something. I would encourage you not to see your relapses as failures. I would encourage you to see them as lessons that you still need to learn based on the sacred contract that you signed up to be in this lifetime. And what that means is, I can't prove this to you, but I believe it. And what I believe is that we decide what we're going to do and be in the lifetimes when we come in, and who we're going to be around, and who we're going to, dance this life with and travel around the medicine wheel with. What if, hear me out on this, what if, let me give you some, and this is for everybody, because let me tell you something. People all the time think I've got it all together. That ain't true. And I can tell you that I have very, very rarely met somebody in the game of metaphysics or spirituality like we live it in kind of this sector that hasn't had their fair amount of trauma in their lifetime. And because it's what? The wounded healer. We're all Chiron, right? And I can tell you, I've put myself and the people who love me, and even the people who don't love me, of which there are a lot, through some hellacious stuff because of me, right? I don't do it anymore. And man, I've tried my level best to make amends and do so much good in this world that, it balances the karma out. And not because I'm not trying to play a game and balance karma. It really is coming organically, right? Because no one will beat you up. No one will ever beat you up worse than you beat yourself up, ever. That's just not possible. So if you're really going through your growth, if you're really going through your spiritual awakening. Now, I believe that our soul is perfect. And so our spirit comes to earth to live these things and do these things. And that's got to hurt. It's got to hurt because it's got to hurt because with the soul being perfect, when we sign up to do imperfect, non-loving things, and we see the effect that it has on us and the people around us, there is an alternative way of thinking of that. When we're talking about the alcoholism and we're talking about relapsing, what if you signed up to put yourself through that because you love the others around you so much that you agreed to live that kind of deep trauma for what it would help teach them? So, oh, okay. Okay, Helen Cameron. Now I gotta get, hey, thanks, Chris, and thanks, Tracy. Chris, dude, I'm so sorry. I thought that I had, blocked you. I'm glad to see that I didn't. Okay, I'm blocking Helen. I love how y'all jump on. It cracks me up. Thank y'all. So, let me get back to this. And I'm going to go, if y'all want to stay, I'm going to go a little bit longer today. I'm being told to go a little bit longer because here's the thing. I tell this to as many people that will listen. And what that means is this. What if you have an abusive partner, or what if you are the abuser? That's a terrible place to be. It's a terrible thing to receive. Terrible, terrible, terrible. That's how we say it in the South. Terrible. And then we serve you some greens. So, but what if you loved so much that when y'all were sitting around in your soul groups on the other side, putting your sacred contracts together, you decided, I'll take one for the team because, Billy, Bob, and Johnny, and, you know, Mary and Kate wanted to experience XYZ, or wanted to learn and grow from being on this side of X, Y, and Z. And what if you said, I'll take one for the team? I often think that about anybody that has challenges, that are wheelchair bound, they don't have communication abilities, that all of their life they're going to have to be cared for because they cannot do one thing for themselves, not one. If that is not the ultimate surrender to put your spirit here to be at the ultimate mercy of whoever is caring for you, only the strongest of us do that. I'm a pretty capable person. And when I was down for the count in October of 2019 and subsequently almost died and then was on literal death watch for 6 months, literal death watch, like to the doctor 5 times a week, it was craziness. I thought about people that do these things, and I thought, I used to think I was big and bad. I don't know so much anymore. But what if you're the strongest of us all? And Tasha, what if they're not fails? What if they are actually you relapsing in honor of other messages, but also what you're going to teach yourself? So potentially, and let's be clear, I'm not a medical professional of any kind at all. I'm not diagnosing you. I'm not telling you what to do for treatment or anything like that. But I am suggesting from a metaphysical, spiritual perspective, what if you came to see these relapses as something other than a failure, but a learning experience, like going through spiritual awakening college and then getting your PhD, or, you know, taking a look around you at people? Because let me tell you something, the people that are around you that you probably have hurt, let down, whatever, they signed up for that. They're not operating in a vacuum. It wasn't just random. Can I prove that to you? No. Have I been able to identify patterns after reading over 65,000 people? Absolutely. We're not that, humans are not that hard to figure out, really. We're pretty simple people. So I'm gonna leave you with that. But I am gonna go back to the roll-up people and the imagination card. Now, I'll put, when I was making the arc, I put this card up on Facebook and people went buck wild. People either loved it and got it, or they were like, that is a demented Teletubby. Don't you dare put that in the deck. So that's why there are 49 cards in the expansion pack of the Arc Tarot, because this card had to go in there. There just was no other choice. It just had to go in there. And so, oh, thank you, you all. Man, the cockroaches have come out this morning, and that's even offensive to cockroaches. I don't know. Pardon me. I don't know what. Yeah. That card made Triple Moon Goddess. What video? You peed in what video? I really need to see that video. I do. So exactly, Nikki. Your experiences don't make you who you are. It taught you what you needed to know. Bam! Truth and wisdom bomb right up in here. Woo! It's like church right up a her. I'm getting the Holy Spirit. That's what's happening. I'm gonna go get my robes. I'm gonna get my shamanic capes. That is for real. Ooh, Kelly, your deck is due today. Ooh, I hope so. I hope you love it. So I know this card is so cute, right? But when some people look at it, all they can see are fangs and yellowed teeth. That's all they saw was claws, right? They didn't see the rest of it. But that was because those were the eyes they were seeing through at the moment. Okay, so roll up, people. Please, I'm begging you. Spirit is begging you. The imagination card is begging you. Please, please, please. Please see that you are creative and step right into that creativity no matter what it is. What is up with the cat energy this morning? Page of Swords, another kitty cat. A Maine Coon kitty. And a ginger. Who doesn't love their ginger kitties? What is up with the cat stuff this morning? All right, give me a second. I got to figure out what this is. Here's what it is. You ever watched a cat watch through a window or be sitting outside watching everything that goes on around them? They can be staring straight this way, and I understand they have amazing hearing, but when their heads move, because something has caught their attention. It is lightning quick. Lightning quick. And they can move. They are so agile and nimble. They can move in the blink of an eye. Now, we've all seen the compilation videos, where the cat goes to try to jump on a counter. It's an epic fail. That cat just goes, wah! They always land on their feet. They're okay. Or where they get caught in something, in something. But by and large, when they're meaning it, right? And when they're paying attention, that whatever catches their eye that's it. Okay, listen. Wait now, Darren. Okay, Darren, hold on. This has to do what Darren just wrote in the chat has everything to do with this message that's coming through from the Page of Swords, which is about what? Primal instincts. Okay. Darren, when you write, it's hard sometimes, almost impossible, can't avoid the complicated obstacles, the struggle's real, it's not meant to be easy. What if that's not true? What if it is meant to be easy, but in our constructs, we've made things more difficult than they need to be, or that they ever should have been? Now, do I doubt that we're here to learn lessons? No, I don't doubt that. But there's a way that we can get through the hard times. Let's say that somebody you love is, suffering, and, you're trying to help them get through, and it's difficult to watch them go suffer through that, and you're suffering as well, and so on and so forth, right? Okay. So it is, if we can come to see those times, instead of being difficult, it's really like Nikki said, it's a lesson to be learned. Man, we can save a lot of wear and tear on our heart, a lot of wear and tear on our heart and on our emotions, which, the mind-body-spirit connection is no joke. I am 1,000% convinced that I have the autoimmune drama that I have, because when I was first developing as a psychic medium, what I let through my body, I didn't know was going to fry it out. Who knew? Now we know, all these years later, now we can correlate it enough to science to know that we're a receiver, just like a cell phone or a radio or we're a Wi-Fi device. Okay. And when you are not working with your physical to pad yourself from those waves, those literal physical electric waves, it's electric, right? Like this morning, you could be doing some damage. So let me just say that. Now, let me go back to the primal instincts. This is really for the collective, because the vast majority of you, what I'm hearing is that you have had a really heightened spidey sense lately, a really heightened psychic awareness lately. And it's coming like that. And you're thinking, oh, that was just a figment of my imagination, because it's fleeting. I'll give you a case in point. I was talking to somebody yesterday. I wasn't even in spidey sense mode, although we all live in spidey sense mode, right? Please. We are genetically hardwired to always be in spidey sense mode. And as I was wrapping up my conversation with this person, I said, is your husband up for a raise or promotion? Yes. And then gave that person the message. It came to me like that and was out of my head just that quickly. But my gut was compelled to comment on it. I feel like a whole bunch of y'all have had that happening recently. These thoughts come through and they're in and out of your head so quickly, you're not giving them the credence, the gravitas, the weight, the power, the getting that it's a real psychic message, and you're dismissing it as a figment of your imagination. Just like kitty cat, don't do that. Channel cat energy and whatever these things are that you're questioning. And I feel like this is also for people who oh, I'm so sorry, Darren. Ugh. I feel like this is for a lot of you that even if you're not a professional practitioner of any kind, like a healer, a psychic, a tarot reader, that kind of thing, medium, rune reader, whatever, I feel like you're the person that people always come to ask questions when they're in need, when they need an emotional lift, when they this, when they that, they come to you. And you're being called to know that those fast thoughts, those are real messages coming to you. And one of the reasons that it's coming so fast now is I believe there will be a time when we really can literally just at will hear and see what we want to hear and see. I mean, everybody's bitching about privacy issues right now all over the internet and your phone and your computer and whatever. It cracks me up because you don't have any secrets. A really tuned in psychic, a really tuned in person, you don't have any secrets. You don't. You don't, because you wear everything in your energetic pattern. And that can be a good thing, and it can be not a great thing if it's in the hands of people who would do you ill because of whatever. But again, please, please, please hear this. For those of you for whom the messages you're finding out that the messages are coming so fast, please don't discount them. They're meant to come to you this quickly because, like Kat, you're supposed to pivot quickly, like really pivot quickly. I just had to do that a couple of days ago. So with the Kickstarter, right, with the book, paper prices, I don't know if y'all have noticed, like in grocery stores and whatnot, there's a shortage of all things that are in metal and in glass and whatever, because there's a shortage of those things to make those products. Even air filters, the metal that's on, in air filters are a little bit hard to get right now, depending on what size it is, because of the manufacturing issues. So lo and behold, with this book, I think I mentioned it the other day, the paper prices are up like 40% in China. 40%. I didn't figure that in. What does it matter? I got to get this book out to y'all. This book has got to come into have life breathed, physical life breathed into it. It's already had spiritual, mental, and emotional life breathed into it. And so I figured out how to pivot. Oh, yes, I did. I sat down with my little paper and pencil and I said, all right, y'all, bring it. And that was it, man. The spirit animal guides just laid out, and I went, that's why I need you all, because I'm not that smart. And here we go. It's going to be just fine and dandy. And in fact, will actually end up being more helpful. It'll end up being more helpful. Yeah, right, Lisa? Wood prices are craziness. My sister and brother-in-law were looking to build a house, and they're like, we're not building now. Have you seen prices of wood? And I was like, no, because I don't look for that. But I did, because I just had some garden planters built for myself, and I thought, was that stuff got gold in it? But I needed my planters, so I bought it anyway, and it wasn't that much. I wasn't building a house. I was building a planter. So in any event, really, I'm asking you guys. So now I'm going to go just another 15 minutes, which will make it 2 hours. If you guys want it, let me know. And how about I'll answer specific questions? I don't ever really do that, but I'm being told to answer, like, if you have a specific question that you're willing to share, like, am I going to move soon? Or is it right for me to take this next job or this or that? I'll answer those. I'm listening, internet. I'm listening. Come on, somebody's got to have a question out there. What is the lesson you have not learned? Oh, Tasha, I'm not dogging you, because it's all of us. It's so many lessons we all have not learned yet. But I would say, Tasha, I feel like from a very early age you have felt very alone. I don't feel like you ever felt like you had a cocoon, or I don't feel like you ever had a cocoon. And what that means is, because you have always felt, I don't want to say part of the group or part of the family or part of the club, but you really have always had a deep, deep feeling, not even of loneliness, but something that way transcends that, which is you feel alone. And that is ultimately what caused the drinking, is just trying to not feel so alone. And I also feel like you said a lot in your life. I just am very misunderstood. People just don't understand me. Is this correct, Tasha, that you just feel like people don't understand you? Okay. Feel okay. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Feel okay. Okay. Right. All right. That is, that is a, again, I'm not a medical professional of any kind, but psychically speaking, what I'm being shown is that is a defense mechanism for you, because you have always been so deeply sensitive, for which I feel like you were punished. Not just ostracized, not just made fun of, but punished earlier in life for your sensitivity. And so over time, you have learned to, um, you have learned to vocalize those feelings as no one understands me and I'm all alone. None of those things are true. Be, Even if you just take it from a mathematical standpoint, there there are 7 billion people on this planet. One person's got to understand you, just one. But mathematically, that's also just such a way out there. It's going to be more. And then so it is incumbent upon you to learn those lessons of, you really are not alone, and you're gonna get hurt when you open up and you're vulnerable to people and you let them in. You are gonna get hurt. It's just, it happens. It doesn't even happen just because people are being deliberately that way. And people do understand you far more than you realize, especially people that have been through or are going through what you're going through in so many ways. um, Even if their story is something different, their trajectory is something different, they still could identify with some of those feelings. So, all of that said, there was a person that asked about their dad, getting their dad someplace. Let me go back up. Axie, I can tell you very specifically, I don't know you from Adam's pet cat, another Southern colloquialism, but I feel like you're supposed to own your own business, period, end of story. I don't know what that's in, but you are destined to be a business owner. Okay, Amy, will I be able to get my dad moved this summer? Yes, but not to where you think. I keep hearing 222. And so, like, if you've got so I keep feeling that the number one choice is bigger. So I don't know if that means it's a bigger financial investment. I don't know if the physical space is bigger, the city is bigger, but there's something bigger, and you need, and it'll be much better if you go with the second one, which is smaller, but so, God, it just feels so like home. It really just does feel like home. And so I hope that will, oh my God, Helen Cameron, you're back. I banned you. I totally did that. All right, hold on. Let me try this again. Um, so it is, there's your answer about moving your dad. Yes, but not to the first place that you think, and don't go for the bigger, go for the more comfy, the more home, the more homey, go for that. Okay, somebody asked, hold on, I'm gonna get back up to that. Somebody asked if they were going to be better in 3 months. No, but yes. And it might sound like I'm riding both sides of the fence. I'm not. What that means is, what you think is going to make you better is not actually what's going to make you better, and that component is not going to get better. But the thing that you haven't seen that's going to make you better, you're, I don't know if you're not moving towards that thing that's going to make you better because it's more costly, in terms of time and money, whoever that was that asked, "What am I going to get better in 3 months?" I can't. I don't see it now, but no, based on the way you're thinking, but almost literally shortly thereafter. So if you get to the 31st day of the 3rd month and it's still no, it's almost like the very next day, which is the 1st, that might happen. Spirit is very literal about those things. And what's interesting is as soon as you see this other thing, as soon as you see the other thing that you should be focusing on, but you haven't, it's not that you haven't allowed it, you just haven't wanted to. When you start to integrate those things, you're going to take off like a bottle rocket. So let's say, like, I am not a fan of celery juice. I love celery, but that's usually because it's with peanut butter and honey, or cream cheese with something, jalapenos in the cream cheese. But it's very salty tasting to me and I don't care for it. So the juice, I love to eat it raw. I do, but the juice just knocks me out. And I know I should be drinking it. I know, but but I need to integrate it. It's that kind of thing. Tara Lynn, Vico. I keep hearing 222 and it's super, super important that you are, it's super important that or that please put it in the comments that I'm down the right energetic trail, Tara Lynn Vico, is that you've got 2 deals that are on the table, and it is, I think you have the opportunity to close both of them, like a very strong opportunity. And actually the one that you're asking me about, you're the one that's on the fence about it. It's not that you can't close it. There's something about it that makes you feel a little uncomfortable. Cause I don't know that it's a great deal, but it's not a bad deal. If you don't have anything else to do the deal. Because I feel like it's a very short-lived deal. Like you get in, you get out, you get in, you get out. Let me know if I'm on the right, track with that, Tara Lynn. And then, Natasha, are you the one that asked me? I'm trying to keep up with these questions as they're coming in. Natasha, are you the one that asked me, are you going to get better in 3 months? And now you're telling me about the physical therapy? So, Natasha, here's what you're missing in your physical therapy. I think I think that you're a big believer in metaphysics, but you're not necessarily a believer that you can do it or that it can happen to you. And even if you believe in the mind-body connection, I don't think that you've sat down and had a conversation with your DNA, with your cells, with your muscles, with your skin. They are living beings. Like, we think we're just one being, but everything on us, inside of us, is its own living entity. We're the keepers of the kingdom, but it's its own living entity. So if you will talk to all of those living things and ask them to work in harmony with you and show you what you need to do and pledge to them that you will do those things to get them all healthy again, they'll be right on board. Right on board. No joke. You might feel like you're losing your mind by sitting and talking to your DNA, but it works. Okay. Bernetta. See, we had this conversation once before, and my answer is still the same thing. I don't think it's your only purpose. I don't. I think it's a very easy way to do the work you want to do without having to face the scrutiny of the living. Wah, 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 wah. And what that means is stop being scared. You're already a great reader. And I would say to you that I think your purpose more involves the lost souls that are in this world, embracing the death of people who have passed and connecting them in that way. So in a way, let me tell you what somebody told me once upon a time. And I I cried for a week. I was at an advanced mediumship class at the Arthur Findlay College in England. Highly recommend the experience. And one of the teachers said to us, "You are so needed in this world," said to us mediums. And we were like, "Oh, that's very nice. Thank you." And she said, "Here's why." She said, "Imagine you're on the other side. Imagine you're a discarnate. And imagine that you want to get through to your wife, your husband, your child, your whatever, and you're desperate to get to them, but they can't hear you, or they are not thinking that they're hearing you. And you find somebody that you can get through to, and you're standing on the other side screaming at the top of your lungs because you so desperately want to connect with them." I had never put myself in the shoes of a discarnate, of someone who'd passed on. They still have wants and needs and emotions and things that they want to do, and people that they want to protect and that they want to love and that they want to help. Can you imagine being that person like you see in the movies when they're screaming, screaming, screaming and nobody can hear them? So in that way, Bernetta, you are helping. By doing mediumship for the living, you are helping lost souls, if that's how you see them or perceive them. You are helping them embrace death because you're putting the two power lines together. You're connecting the communication. I hope that's helpful. Oh, triple moon goddess, chronic fatigue, Epstein-Barr. Yes. Shelly, I'm going to get to you in a second. I'm stepping into the triple moon goddess, that question. So, the most obvious thing is to stop owning the phrase, "I'm suffering." Immediately stop that and replace it with, "I'm experiencing." I'm experiencing this for right now. And then one day I won't. But give that day a date. I won't. Now, you and I both know that chronic fatigue takes a while to come out of, and Epstein-Barr is a virus, and that can be with you forever. I have a muscle myopathy. It's a very rare muscle myopathy that if I did not do the things in my life that I'm supposed to do, up to and including taking these horrendous horse pills, I would be wheelchair bound, and within a year and a half I would be DED, dead. Not just DEAD, dead, but dead. And that is DED. That's how we say it here in the South. So I do what I need to do, and I also don't own it. Case in point. For those of you that have seen the manatee video, okay, I'm just going to out myself here. I might as well. I told y'all in that video that I had only been cleared for physical activity literally the week before I went into freezing cold water. Well, the river, the spring-fed rivers here in Florida stay 72 degrees all year round, but it was 24 degrees outside. And I hoisted myself into a couple of wetsuits, and into the water I went, not having done any kind of swimming or any kind of physical exercise, because I wasn't allowed to, because it could trigger the muscle myopathy and make things worse. And it's just been this whole thing, right? And movement is life. I could feel myself dying on the vine. It was horrible. So the last thing that my rheumatologist wanted to hear was, "I'm going to jump in cold water on a freezing cold day," not having done any kind of physical activity, much less against a current, swimming, whatever. And now I'm going to put myself in the water around, 14-ton animals. They're not 14-ton animals, but they're hundreds and hundreds of pounds, 800 and 900 pounds. I'm going to do that. He was like, "Do you have a death wish?" And I was like, "No, but if I don't get in that water with these manatees, no amount of medicine is going to help me, because my mental mindset, I've got to do this. I'm going to do it. It's just that simple. Whether you tell me I can or I can't." He goes, "Well," he said, "you are cleared for PT. I don't clear you to do that, but go on about your merry business. And, I guess they'll call me if they pick you up from the bottom of the river." I had strength that day that I haven't had in forever. And I know exactly where it came from, because I said, "I'm going to do this." And I said to the animal allies, I said, "I never command or demand anything of you all, ever. This is the first time, literally ever. You will help me in this river. You will help me do this. You will help me do that. And I know you know why. And doggone if it didn't happen exactly the way that I said to the animal kingdom, because it really was prefaced with, 'I need you.' And I need you to do exactly what I'm telling you. I've never commanded of you before, but I need it right now. And it's not just me that needs it. All of the people subsequently, yak, yak, yak. Y'all, and there we went. So going back to your question about the chronic fatigue and the this and the that. First of all, stop saying I'm suffering, I'm experiencing. Call on your animal allies to move all of that out, to help you heal it. And actually, I am hearing something very specific. You already know this. Something is supposed to happen a week from now medically for you. I don't know if it's a new med. I don't know if it's a new protocol. There's something that about a week from now, you know, is already going to happen. You're going to feel like a new person. So yes, within 3 months, I think you're going to be doing much, 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 much better. Much better. Okay. Shelly St. Aubin. Next year, my girlfriend and I are moving in together. Congrats. If it's that kind of girlfriend, which I'm taking away that it is, congrats. Honey, I don't know that you have a choice. I don't know that you have a choice but to drive an hour each way every day, and you like your job. But again, there's an energy that I feel. Are y'all thinking about starting a business together? Shelly St. Aubin, are you and your girlfriend thinking about starting a business together? Or have you already started a business together? You're welcome, Triple Moon. Unless you're saying thank you to Nikki, which you might be. Oh, yeah. There we go. Oh, yeah, Teapot. I didn't want to sell you out, but since you told everybody, y'all, Teapot, she and I are the autoimmune sisters. It's attacking my sinus, brain, and stomach. Right. Okay. I get it. I totally get it. But there are other ways to do that kind of healing. And the other thing that I will tell you is, for people that have autoimmune, I'm not a doctor, I'm not prescribing, I'm not diagnosing, but I have seen people's lives completely change around with an acupuncturist that knows what they're doing. And I mean completely change around. It's astonishing. It's like magic. Okay. I love you guys. And I am... I gotta go though. I've gone a half an hour over time, which is fine. I love hanging out with you guys. Thank you so much for showing up. Please consider getting your book over at the Kickstarter. If you love Spirit, Totem, and Power Animals, this is the most definitive work on the subject of animal allies of all time. No joke. And I appreciate you all so much. For those of you who want to join Thursday, I'll see you Thursday evening. And I may consider next week adding some more lives. I love doing them. They seem to be very helpful. And we're also, get over to gatheringofmystics.com to discuss. I'm trying to figure out, I want to do a practice circle with you all. And I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate Zoom into my forum so that we can see each other. And maybe twice a month do a free practice circle where you can, tarot and psychic and mediumship development, that kind of thing. I'm working on it. So I love you guys. Thank you so much. And what's the most, thank you so much to the moderators. Thank you so much for hanging in there over time, Teapot. I didn't tell you that. I didn't know until the last minute. So thank you. And I hope this was helpful. Do good for animals and stay wild.